Peace to the family out there. People coming up in here. Peace to everybody. It's been a while. I wanted to go live. I wanted to actually cover this conversation. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up real quick. I wanted to cover this conversation because I felt like it was important. It was Umar Johnson on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew. And I actually like that show, the Daily Wrap-Up Crew. I tune in to watch a lot of them. You know, I try to watch like a lot of stuff that the younger generation is doing. You know, I keep my ear to the ground. I pay attention. So they had Umar Johnson on there, and they talked about a plethora of different things. You know, Umar was talking about a school. He was talking about the development of the Black community. He was talking about him being a prince of Pan-Africanism and what Pan-Africanism entails. He talked about multiple different things. But one of the main conversations that when they really got into was getting into what these young people like to talk about: female accountability, the Black community, gender wars. And, hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, so Umar had some interesting views on what the black man should be doing. And the young guys, what I've noticed is within the Black community and in these social media spaces, a lot of these young men don't know what fatherhood is or what it is to be a man. Their idea of manhood from the Black community's perspective is individualism. And this is the reason why the Black man is powerless. He has no power to bring about the change that he desires within his community because he operates as an individual. And we've been reduced, a very large portion of our men have been reduced to see looking at women and saying, well, look at the women. This should be us. Instead of saying we are men and it's our job to fix our problems and fix our situations. So in this heat, it got heated. And in this heated debate, you're going to see Umar really go in. And what I'm going to do in a couple minutes as I lay out what's going on. Hey, Shantae, make sure. Okay. As you know, I wait for a little bit more people to come in the room, and I share the screen. Share the screen. We're going to get into Umar on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew. But what I notice is a large portion of young men that don't understand what leadership is or understand the way we're being attacked. I'm not saying that the Black woman is not without accountability. Those of you guys that watch me for years know that I go in on Black female accountability. I go in on Black male accountability and the dysfunction of the Black community. But I'm telling Black men, I've been telling Black men for a long time, you can't spend too much time complaining about what Black women is doing. As Black men, we are problem solvers and builders. I don't give a shit about what the Black woman is complaining about online. I'm more concerned about getting these kids and getting young Black boys to understand what manhood is and kingship, and going back and demanding their respect and taking it back by reinvesting in each other, not talking about holding women accountable and complaining about women. So we're going to get off into it right now. I ain't going to keep the shenanigans going. We're going to share our screen, and we're going to get off into this debate. I want y'all to see just what this thing was really about, man. You know what I mean? You know, I haven't went live in a long time, and this is one of the things that inspired me to want to go live and want to, you know, get back into, you know, really talking about some of this stuff. So let's look at this. Tell me, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear, if the sound is good.
I did what I'm doing. I don't believe I was born to be nothing else but what I am right now. And because I believe that I'm on a God-given mission, and because I believe that the ancestors are helping me as much as possible to achieve the goals that I have in mind for my people, which is ultimately liberation for all African folks. If I die in the work, it was my destiny. And if I don't, it wasn't. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm content with whatever happens. But my comfort and peace of mind comes from knowing that this is the destiny I negotiated with God in heaven before I incarnated. So it don't really bother me.
So let me ask you this question, right? Just to go back to the dating outside your race. You once said that dating interracially is a form of self-hatred.
Absolutely.
Why do you believe that?
Absolutely. Because why do you want to stare in the face of a member of the people who have committed the greatest human atrocities against your people? These are the people.
Is that only specifically to white people, or do you mean if they date an Asian woman or Indian woman? Is that still the same?
Well, I got two answers. If we're dealing with white people,
right?
Why would you want one of them after what they've done to us and continue to do? Because your white girlfriend's still a racist. She still doesn't value black life. You understand? That white man Serena Williams is married to, he don't value black life. You understand? That white woman that took $1 billion from Tiger Woods, she don't value black life, right? I can give you countless examples of people I've met in therapy who were called the N-word by white husbands and white wives. You understand me? White people who have sex with you. Didn't the slave master sleep with our mothers and grandmothers? So just because they land in the bed with you, what makes you think that they shed their racism? They don't. White people are racist. All white people are racist. There's no exceptions. They might not all be bigots, but they're all racist. They all want their people to dominate unfairly the resources, the opportunities, and the privileges of this society.
So
every white person.
What about the people that just say love is love, right?
Who believes love is love?
I mean, that's most people's answer.
That might be most black people. Love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white folks.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live. True. White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Who schools our kids go?
Now I want y'all to listen, right? While Umar's going, I want you guys to listen to the brother that's sitting all the way over in the far chair, his response, and what you're going to get a chance to see why our communities are constantly in the conditions that they're in. This thing is deep, man. Y'all got to see this. So I'm gonna play some more.
Go to theirs. True. Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us for shit. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we was when slavery ended 157 years ago. So, in my opinion, if you talk to an integrationist, and say, how far have we come since slavery? Oh, we've come very far. We got a black president. Now we got a black vice president. We got a black Supreme Court justice. We got about 10 black billionaires. We got about 100 black millionaires.
Ain't shit changing.
Because their definition of progress is based exclusively on superficial assets. Are you following me? Now that's the integrationist. Now you come to me, the nationalist, the Pan-African nationalist. How much progress have we made since slavery? Zero. But Dr. Umar, how can you say that? Black people got master's degrees, doctorate degrees, houses in white neighborhoods. We own our own businesses. We got millionaires. We got tech companies. Here's my question. To what extent are we now in a better position to protect and dictate the lives of our children today than we was when slavery ended? Let me ask it another way. When slavery ended, we owned 1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in America. Guess how much we own now?
The same.
1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in America. What the fuck has changed? Nothing at all but the appearance of things. The only thing they did when they ended slavery is change the way it looked. They traded in slavery. Before the 13th Amendment, we were owned by individuals. We was the property of individual slaveholders. After the 13th Amendment, we became property of the government itself. We are slaves of the state.
So
still not free.
Let me ask you a question, because
in other words, if you walk out here right now and a police officer pulls you over and takes your life, God forbid, unjustifiably, how was that any better than you being on the plantation picking cotton and the overseer just decides to get off his horse and blow your damn brains out? 157 years apart. Was there any difference in the power dynamic?
Hell no.
Nothing at all.
You're right.
We are exactly where we were.
There's no ramifications.
Power is the measuring stick, y'all. Not education, not income, not billionaires and millionaires. How many black people on TV, Obamas and Kamalas? That's irrelevant. How much power do we have to force white people to leave us the hell alone? And do we have any more now than we had in 1865?
I don't see it.
Moving.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask a question real quick, because a lot of people say that Obama got in office and he did nothing for black people. Do you think he had the power to do anything when he was president?
I want to ask a question before that question. Do I think he had the power?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Major changes, he didn't have the power.
Right.
Minor changes, he did. For example, Barack Obama could have got us more black teachers. Barack Obama could have did something about the special education exploitation of our children. He could have done something about the suspensions and expulsions. He could have fought for better schools and more black educators, because everybody agrees that the schools are a problem. Do you understand? Everybody agreed that the schools. Obama didn't do nothing about that. You follow me? He could have done something about black homelessness. He didn't. Now, for the black middle class, he threw them a couple bones and allowed them to buy a house and that kind of shit, if you consider that progress, right?
Right.
But overall, did he systemically change anything for black people? Not at all.
I'm playing this part because it's leading up to where it's going to get heated, and I wanted to segue right in. So I want you to see the path that Dr. Umar is laying down, and you're going to see the mindset of a lot of our young men. Now, in this stream that I'm doing today, because I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna also play a video from O'Shea Duke Jackson where a girl was kicked out of school for celebrating Juneteenth, and you're gonna see, man, it's crazy. You're gonna see our young generation and just how lost our young generation is, and I'm gonna explain why they're so lost. Well, I'm gonna re-explain, because I've been explaining this stuff for so long on YouTube to the point I got burnt out. I just got tired of doing live streams, but I'm gonna go re-energize, so I'm back a little bit. And I want y'all to see how Umar lays this out, but I want y'all to see these young people and the mindset of some of these, not all of them, but some of these young people.
At all. But did he systemically change anything for gay people? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But don't you think it's easier for one to do that because of the power that they possess? Because of, you know what I mean, there's white people, Asian people that's in that community.
Okay, possibly, but here's my question for you then. Let's say Obama had no power to change nothing. Let's just say that.
Hit that like button.
Why would you vote for him for your presidency?
I was ignorant to how that whole system worked. When I first voted, I just turned 18. You know what I mean? So as I'm learning more, I realized that it goes through a vote and you need certain seats, people in these seats to push bills through. He didn't have that. Even Biden now, where we voted in these seats, he's still not doing nothing for black people.
But you know what the difference is? Presidents have executive privilege. Barack Obama could have signed executive orders to do things for black people that he did not do. Remember, Biden gave the Asians an executive order before Congress gave them a law. He gave the Native Americans an executive order before Congress gave them the law. You follow what I'm saying? Donald Trump gave the Hispanics, the Latinos, an executive order before. You understand? Obama could have used the power of his pen. And here's my one thing against Barack Obama. My one thing. You're right. I'm not going to slight him for not changing anything. I'm going to slight him for not even trying. Do you see the difference?
Definitely.
You the president of student government at college. You didn't get nothing done. But guess what, brother? I salute you because I saw you fight for me.
So hold on.
You feel me?
A little bit.
You will never get another president's attention anymore. Because the whole world watched Black America catch hell and give Barack Obama a pass for 8 years. The worst thing we could have.
Hold on.
Right.
And whichever one of y'all we vote for, that's who's going to get the votes. And if you do.
Definitely.
So speaking of that, you know, I've seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right, with Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent.
Let me pause it for a minute. I got to deal with this comment because we got to be careful. See, you say Umar has good points, but he's too much of a race hustler. And I don't know if you're white or black, but if you're white, or if you're black conservative, you got to stop doing it because you actually disrespect our people when you make those kind of comments. Umar's not a race hustler. If this system is race hustling, this is the system that still teaches that Columbus discovered America. This is still the system that stole hundreds of patents from black people and create and make money, millions and billions of dollars off the degradation of black images. The race hustlers in this country is the corporate structures and the white power structure that still benefits from it. This teaching, when you call brothers like him or me race hustlers, we are the product that this system produced to come out here and have to reteach our people. It's not race hustling. And I think that is disrespectful and unfair when you guys make those kind of comments towards black folks and call them race hustlers when they're trying to basically reignite or retrain the minds of our people to love their people. That's not race hustling. That's crazy. I never see these type of comments. But see, this is the thing. Our ancestors opened up doors. See, and this is where we make the mistake. And I'm not going to deal with this last part because I want to play this. Our ancestors and foremothers and forefathers have opened up doors for us to have opportunities, absolutely. But in the process of them opening up doors, and that's why we got to be educated, because we watched the generation come from the 1700s up through the 1800s, up through the 1900s, all the way up to us having progressions through the 60s, to us getting hit with a heroin holocaust, and them using economic policies and political policies to totally dismantle and destroy the black community and wipe out most of what the civil rights and black power movement put down. They killed a lot of civil rights leaders and they killed a lot of black power militant leaders and ran them out the country and then flooded your community with heroin. And then we had audio clips of Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan on a clip calling black people monkeys. This was your president. They had economic policies. Then you had Strom Thurmond and your president now, Joe Biden, writing policies because he wanted to be the drug czar, to be the to criminalize black Americans, right? To criminalize black Americans. So we have to understand our story and what this could but he could have. But I don't have a problem with that. But I take umbrage with people calling our people race hustlers, especially if you're black. If you're black, you should never call another black man a race hustler, ever. Because then we have every right to speak with our chin up in the air loud. This is the country that killed Dr. King. She killed his mother and his brother. This is the country that killed Medgar Evers. This is the country that raped Reese Teller. This is the country that framed the Scottsboro boys. This is the country under the federal government that watched the church be bombed and 3 little girls be killed and there was no justice. So we can never be called race hustlers for unifying our people and speaking in the manner in which we should be speaking. Now, there's some things that we may disagree when it comes to our people, but we should never call our people race hustlers, because I got to look at you side-eye when you do that. So let me play some more of it.
They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house, and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
So, obviously, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So,
that's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man. A black woman can have sex.
Now, I want y'all to listen, because I'm going to teach in this. This is very important. And I want all young black men to listen. I want y'all to pay attention.
whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get. I have 2 daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest will be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with black women. With white women.
With all women. You should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's plenty in Africa.
Absolutely.
So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like,
I do.
If you feel
I tell sisters all the time, go to Africa. So I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married,
I'll take sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also tell black women, if you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Why the fuck is it tolerated? It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us though. Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be a man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying,
I want y'all to listen. And I want all men to get out of their emotions because I'm going to teach on this. Listen to what he's saying. We have to be held accountable because our women have to select the poor mate. This is very important. This is very important. And I'm going to break all this down. I want y'all to listen, especially my young guys. I want you to pay attention because I want you to understand what warfare is on the battlefield and what groups of competing men do to neutralize the men to make the women vulnerable. I want you to understand how this works. We don't have time for emotions. We have time. We have to pay attention and understand what other men are doing to us. Let's proceed.
Saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course she's going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. But guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough. She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be more
If we was loving
selective.
our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
What?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie.
Now I'm gonna pause it right there. That was important. Because in these social media spaces, you have a lot of black men that come on here and say that the women are picking the Pookies and Ray Rays and they're picking these things. And I keep telling you, as black men, we can cry, we can complain, we can moan, we can argue all day. At the end of the day, no matter what, it's our job to fix our communities. I don't care what a black woman says. She still won't have the expectations of you being in a position of leadership. The expectations that a woman naturally has in you puts you in a position of leadership. When you ain't right, she's going to be disgruntled. So it doesn't even matter. So at the end of the day, I always talk about building black men up and wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. Because in warfare, their job is to make you insufficient or not or inadequate, and to keep our women in 9 months of suppression to work freely for them. So this is why they psychologically condition our women to not be subordinate to us. So now our women, a lot of our women are growing up in this dysfunctional house, molested, don't have fathers, because we still plantation fucking within our communities. Our mothers and our dads don't have discernments in how we come together. So our women become vulnerable, and our women are not being raised right and on the war in the aspect of warfare. So now they become bullets against us. But what we do, we've been conditioned to look at and say, well, she needs to choose better. No, black man. We need to love each other and work better to understand who's creating the problem and go and fix it. And the only way you can fix it, and this is why I formed Urban Nerds, was to invest back in black boys and redirect and be counter to what our enemy is doing. We have to learn to be revolutionary. I'm going to play some more.
We never allowed Pookie to develop. She would not have a Pookie.
Listen.
Survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be
we was
more
loving
selective.
our women and taking care of our women. Do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
What?
Because
that's important. When Umar said, why is there even a Pookie in the selection? The man said, you gotta ask her that. That's a problem when you have men that don't understand why there's Pookies. There's a nigga. Remember I did my series, Death to the Real Nigga? And before I can even teach you, I gotta get the nigga out of your mind. So the nigga mindset, the Pookie mindset, why is he even there? If you are a man, a black man in America, and you don't understand that a Pookie or a nigga is made and manufactured in America, and he's created by the system to go against everything that we want to, when we want to rise, his job is to be there to psychologically break everything that we're trying to produce. So that way the white man don't have to come and do it. So if our women are conditioned to look at them and go towards them, that's a problem. And as men, that's our job to fix that. We have to understand who we are on the battlefield. It's not black women getting murdered every day in the streets in Chicago, Philadelphia, and Detroit. It's men, it's young boys. It's black men watching young boys be murdered and buried. Because the objective is to neutralize the boys or send them away in prison. Yeah, we sipping hard because we don't understand warfare on the battlefield. It's not about individualism. Other groups of men understand this. And I'm explaining it to you because the Latinos went through this. Latinos experienced certain things in their countries on what white imperialism has done. But what they do is fight back. The people from India, they experience white imperialism. They fight back. What we have to do is we got a 5th-degree black belt talking about this white man, but the black man refused to love his brother. The biggest hater in America is the fucking black man. The biggest hater in America is the black man. And they conditioned us to see ourselves as ops and niggas. But let's play some more.
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. if we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right, that still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources, and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
If you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you have
because we having a conversation as men.
Yeah,
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
Right.
But as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No. As men, we should be concerned.
I'm going to pause it right there. That's important. As men and leaders, you shouldn't be concerned about what the fuck these women are saying. You are a man. And when you see a problem, men are protection, direction, and correction. We are problem solvers. When we see a problem, we go and we fix the problem, and women will begin to acquiesce to what it is that you're building. That woman that give you trouble will go right in that job and shut the fuck up to Mr. Charlie and do and say what Mr. Charlie do. Because Mr. Charlie is willing to kill, steal, rob, do whatever to build his empire and provide structure for his people where he can have power. The black man is too busy worrying about what the fuck the woman is saying. Because what they've done is they've neutralizing the comparison is saying women. Yeah. What? No, well, see, this is the thing. It's weak to worry about checking women. What the fuck is you worry about checking women for? There's no reason to worry about checking women. This is where we make, let me do this. This is where we make the mistake. And it's sad that in 2023, we still got to teach warfare to our men. We still got to teach warfare. The groups of competing men, I need you guys to go and read P.W. Balthus' letter on how to break a nigger. I need you guys, I've read King Leopold's letter that he wrote to the missionaries on how to neutralize the niggers. I need you guys to read Madison Grant, The Rise of the Great Race. Please, black men, go and read these writings where they wrote on how to neutralize men. And these comments in the comment section, they did an awesome job because we've lost all of our masculinity and warfare on the battlefield. Men are unapologetic. We are observers and we are unapologetic builders. We go in and we take it. Somebody has come into our house, raped our women, destroyed us, conditioned us to see ourselves as ops. We're watching our boys kill each other every day. And what the black man is doing, he's not mad enough to say, hey, I got to work with my brother to change the situation. And I have to make sure that I have pussy discipline, where I'm not dropping my C's in disagreeable women, because I know that in warfare right now, a lot of the minds of our women belongs to the enemy. They belong to the enemy. And we don't understand this. So when we're teaching, we're reteaching the black man on who he is and what his role is and who his enemy is and what he's doing to his mind. His mind. Because a lot of these single moms can't get pregnant if you ain't putting babies in them. But our boys are not raised to have high standards for themselves. The bar in the black community for a black boy is very low. The standards for a young black man or a black man is very low. And because his standards is low, the woman who he's set to protect has low discernment. And because she has low discernment, she's going to turn the community out with her behavior. This is warfare. Warfare is not guns, bombs, and bullets. Warfare is psychological. Psychological. If I can psychologically condition you to believe that you are a nigga, and as a man, you will no longer turn around and see me as the op, you will see your own brother, and every woman that you see, you'll see it as a bottle that needs corking. We're still plantation fucking, and we don't know who we are. And like Dr. John Amos Wilson said, our women are who they are because we are who we are. But see, a lot of our men today in these social media places are so soft. When they hear me say that as a man, they think that this is an attack. No, it's not an attack. This is not an attack. This is a call to arms. To all men, black men, and saying, hey, sound the alarm. These people have our boys killing each other. They got our women turned against us, and we're sitting here not understanding what to do. Women don't build societies and nations. Men do. That's why they attack you so much. That's why they turn your women against you. That's why they incentivize your women to be against you. That's why the courts incentivize. The greatest revolutionary act that the black man can do today is to love his brother and understand what this warfare is about. Get a family. Have high standards for yourself. High standards. Things that you just won't settle for and go for. If you ain't ready to do that, you ain't ready to have a conversation with me. If you ain't ready to have a wife, children, grandchildren, investing in boys and girls, raising them up, you ain't ready to have this conversation with me. Because I understand warfare. And I know what the enemy is doing. I know what he's doing. It's not about the fucking women. You never ever see any other group complain about their women. The Latino man, the Arab man, the Indian man, only the Black American man. And is weak in front of the world. While in our communities all across America, Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit, St. Louis, Atlanta, other groups move right into the black man's community, and he takes his money, he builds right in his community because the black man don't want it. The black man think he's so free, damn near he don't even want his woman because he says that she's unruly. She's unruly because you don't love your brother and you're not willing to take back what's been taken from you. But the difference is, black man, if I step on your shoe, if I disrespect you, you'll blow my fucking head off. You'll beat my ass. You'll try to fuck my woman. But you won't work with me to reverse what they did to us, though. This is the mindset of the black man. They go hard. Those guys go hard on their women, but you know what they do? They go hard to have power, those guys. They ain't letting no niggas come into their communities and build stuff and take over. Only the black man does that. Only the black man does that. Only the black man has been in this country for hundreds of years. And all these immigrants come right in here with our $1 trillion spending power and make all kinds of money off of it, redevelop the community, buy up all your property, and gentrify you the fuck out of it. That's not the woman's fault. That's the black man's fault. The black man ain't reinvesting in black boys to provide jobs. Let me tell you something. The black man in America is not providing opportunities for black boys with felonies, reinvested in black boys. The black man ain't doing none of that because the black woman is pro-woman, right? And pro-opportunity, and the black man is a fucking hater and he's selfish. I'm going to say it again. The black woman is pro-woman and pro-opportunity. And the black man is a hater and he's selfish. He is the number one hater of his brother. You can say it's not true, but you can get the fuck out my thing and roll. I don't have time. I don't have time. Walk outside. I don't have time. Let me get you out of here. I'm not dealing with, I don't have time for it. I don't have time. This is one of the reasons why I stopped going live and I just start doing work. The black man is the biggest fucking hater of the black man in America. The black man will clearly see. Clearly, let me tell you something. I've been online for a long time, right? And I've seen black people complain about white supremacy and racism. I'm not even dealing with the women. The black man has an 18th degree black belt and talking about white supremacy in this white man. But the black man in America to this day, why you got two of them? He left. He not here. What are you talking about? Yeah, put one back. The black man in America to this day will not work with his brother. Will not bring from the top to the bottom. We have more millionaires today than we ever had. People like A. Philip Randolph from the Randall Pullman Porters Unions, the Porters Unions, they create the middle class. He cared about his brother. A. Philip Randolph cared about the black man. He unified the black man to get the black man a better ways to create a middle class to move the black man up. The black man today doesn't care about his brother. He is selfish, and that's why everybody outperforms us, and the black man is powerless today. We complaining about Obama. We complaining about Joe Biden. We complaining about the Democrats letting immigrants in. Well, let me ask a question for people to say it ain't true. All the stuff we got today, fuck respectfully. Listen, I'm not dealing with no opposing views because nobody can tell me I'm wrong. And this is the problem with the fucking black man. Fuck the respectfully. You know I'm right. Stop it. I'm on this topic. No, I'm not having it. Get out your fucking feelings and your emotions. Grab your motherfucking balls, nigga, and let them hang. Because it's time for black man to let his balls hang. You might not like what I'm saying. Fuck not like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the goddamn truth. What I'm saying is the truth. I'm not hearing no opposition from no black men right now to this because I'm not wrong. I'm not saying that black women shouldn't be held accountable. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, other black men, other men around the world look at the black man as weak and incompetent because he comes into your community from foreign countries and he just takes it over. They don't look at the women. They're not worrying about no fucking women. They're worrying about the man. I want you guys to understand. I'm going to calm down. Let me breathe. I'm going to calm down. When a Dominican man comes into the black community, what do you think when he's at home amongst his men, they say about us? The Korean man. Get out your fucking emotions. Fuck the women right now. We talking about the men. At some point, where's your fucking balls? Where's your pride as a man? People like Benjamin Hooks, people that was on the front line for us to have certain things. Where's your pride? You go up in these corporate buildings and they discriminatory against you. A lot of y'all just decide to coon out because being black hurt. So I go get me a white woman and I go over there with the white folks and I be accepted. This is what you do. I'm telling you, listen, get out your emotions. Black man, you know what I'm saying? It's not wrong. Fuck the women for a minute. Other groups of men go to get power. They don't sit around and talk about, well, the women need to do this and women. But the reason why we think this way, because they've broken us down so much. And most of us been raised by single moms. We don't understand what power is and manhood is. We don't understand what power and manhood is. You shouldn't be worrying about what the fuck the women talking about. You should be trying to get power. Women coochies get wet to power. They panties fall down to men with power. And because the reason why a lot of our women pick Pookies and Ray Rays, because the bar is set so low in the black community, so low, that their discernment is off. Their discernment is based off of women that they deem masculine. And most of those men are the dope boys or the street niggas. But this is all a tactic of warfare. Well, let me play some more. I'm going to come right back because I done went on a rant.
Of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only, that is where we should be focusing.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only
if
up
you
to
don't
her.
put a seed in her, nothing else happens. And no woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean,
all right. So the black men willingly.
Shahrazad Ali's job is to call out women. Black man's job is to call out black men. What Shahrazad Ali is talking about is women. This conversation about power and men is a whole different conversation, sir. A whole different conversation. Take your panties off. Listen to what we're talking about. We're talking about some man shit right now. And men have low standards because they're not taught to have high standards for themselves. They have low standards for themselves. Most boys, let me explain something to you when we talk about our parents. A lot of our parents were broken and running wild. And the mothers had low discernment and the fathers had low discernment. They had you. And the father might have ran off, or the mom was there taking care of you, and she wasn't equipped to raise you to be a man, to understand manhood. All of this is called plantation fucking from way back to the plantation, passed down generationally. The job is to neutralize the young boy to not understand what power and manhood is, to make him not unapologetically masculine. So you're not going to hear me. I don't give a fuck if a woman saying she don't need me or mouthing off. Fuck what she talking about. I'm a fucking man. I'm going to go get power. She going to be on my dick anyway when I have power. I understand power. I understand manhood. The problem is we conditioned to go chase coochie and women before we understand what power and manhood is. That's why he said, well, she can have the baby. No, you shouldn't be putting the baby in a woman anyway. Until you understand who you are as a man. You should be protecting your seed and your progeny. You should be understanding what true power is. But because the bar is set so low, the minute you get that tingle down there between your legs, you don't have a man to teach you to cultivate that and what that's about. So you just run around and spill your seed everywhere. Then you complain about the bunch of women that's pregnant because you have a bunch of undisciplined men who was never taught to be men. This is part of warfare. I keep telling you that warfare is not guns, bombs, and bullets. Warfare is psychological. So if you have a whole community of young men with low bars, then the women are going to have low discernment. And she's going to pick very low on a totem pole. So if we're not raising boys to have high standards for themselves, your women are going to be out of control. It's going to be what you see right now. This is what I'm talking about. We got to get out of our emotions. Stop. Don't worry about those women. Worry about your brother and building him up and having high standards and saying, this ain't what we're going to stand for anymore. This YouTube shit has created a whole thing of men crying about women. No, it's not you don't. Jesus Christ. We don't ask for permission. We go and we take it. You don't ask for permission, you take it. You go and you take the power. Your parents, right, and your parents been married 55 years that came from a different time and a different struggle. And God bless your parents. God, I respect them. They are people that came from, this is why we have to listen when I'm teaching. Because I'm going to put that comment up here, right? Watch this. And I'm going to show you how we got to listen. You said your parents been married 55 years. I said the black man has lost sight of people like your father. And people like A. Philip Randolph. And black men that were standing in the gap for other black men to provide for those black men that they could provide for their families. The black man today is the biggest hater in America. He hates his brother. The black man today takes a shit on A. Phillips Randolph grave every day because the idea that Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. had, the A. Philip Randolphs and all those men of the past, when they thought of their brother, they understood the warfare that they was under, and they went to get power. They understood power, and they went to build. Right, and I've been 18 years. No, this is the thing. This is what you need to realize, FemTech. See when you first titled in, it says I've been married 30 years. The individual. I am not having an individual conversation. And if you are an individualist, then you're in the wrong space. I'm not talking about the individual. I've been married 18 years. It's not about the individual. I don't deal in I, because they feel like Randolph and Dr. King didn't deal in I. They dealt in the community and their families and brothers. So what we have to do is we have to understand what warfare is and to reinstill. I'm not talking about I. If you notice, I'm not saying I. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the black man. I'm talking about the brother. You talking about I. Not one time did I say that I've been married for 18 years. I just go and show it and produce a clean glass next to the dirty glass to try to reform and rechange our minds. The Bible says that in order to come into the kingdom, you must first renew your mind. I don't deal in I. I deal in the collective group, because that's how the other groups come. Brother Rob, God darn, what's up, my brother? Good to see you over here, my beloved. I wish you was in New York, man, last weekend, man, at the science fair. I wish you was able to make it, man, up in Brooklyn, bro. Man, we had a ball. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And a lot of people showed up, Brother Rob. Let's play some more, Rook. Let's play some more.
Leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So how if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make. That? Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay,
it's an argument that says I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fall.
Bro, if you keep talking about what you're doing, I'm gonna have to let you go. We're not talking about this. See, you and your feelings. You acting like a woman. I don't need to know if all your sons is in college and that. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about, respectfully, we're talking about the collective of the community. Not, you don't have to explain anything. You don't have to explain anything to me or anybody in the chat. Great for what you're doing. Keep doing it. But we're talking about the greater community of fixing our problems so our sons don't have to worry about somebody else's son killing them or not understanding what power is. So they won't be having the same conversations 20 years from now that we have it now. This is what I'm teaching. So it's not about explanation. It's about what's going on within our community. This is what I'm speaking to.
Back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's
not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life. I'm gonna go back
to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life. I'm gonna go back
to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie.
Now listen to this week conversation. He said she picks Pookie and Ray Ray. Umar said there wouldn't be no Pookies if you didn't allow a Pookie. He said, but she picks this. Listen to what this guy just said, and I'm gonna break this down. Art, what's up, Art?
Says I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative.
That's not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life.
Back to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Puka and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that?
Now I'm gonna pause it right there. I'm gonna show you how important that is. All the things that we've been through as a people, as black men, that's our job. We're not going back to Africa. We live in America. We live in the communities that we live in. We experience racism still to this day. It's our job to take the Pookies and Ray Rays out of the community, not the white man. The white man's job is to produce the Pookies and Ray Rays through economic policy, drugs, bad foods, bad water, everything within our communities, right? By relegating you there. Our job is to, as black men, is to reinvest back into our people. We're supposed to own the communities there, control the schools. That's what the men are supposed to do. This is warfare. If you can articulate what the white man is doing to you, then it's your responsibility to fix your own community. Yeah. So this is what Umar is trying to tell them. Now listen to what they say. Listen to what they're saying.
And she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
Hard in my life.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
But Dr. Umar,
men supposed to make the raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you're talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean, he's a great father.
Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about that's individual. That's good, but that's individualism. Yeah. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now?
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
nothing.
We're being a
talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it.
It's not going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more. Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys, and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm going to call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. But I'm saying
a man as a leader to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes. That's not the definition. Community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes. That's not the definition. A man as a leader to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes. That's not the definition of a man.
I don't
even have to make if we a man as a leader to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes. That's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to do.
You still go back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she's had to raise the kids alone, not one woman, so brother. Tell me, a whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you,
now hold on. This is the YouTube shit. Now what he just said was all the black women in the black community are masculine with men. That's how I know he don't date black women. But this is the problem that we have. We don't understand. When you listen. Even when you go outside your race, right? And you say, watch this, Shantae. They say, well, I'm going to go over to these other women because these other women are more feminine. This is so easy. This is a freaking layup. Those communities that you go to, the men run those communities. Those communities are ran by men. Those women come from a community that's ran by men. A lot of those women can't even take you home because their father ain't fucking with you. The Indian woman, the Pakistani woman, the Arab woman, some of these white Latino women, no. She has to hide you for a while because her father's not having it. But those women come from men that seek power in their community. This tiptoeing to the tune of homogenized ass Negro who don't understand manhood, don't understand that. So he wants to hop the fence and run over to some other groups of men, women, who those men are building communities, and you want to go sleep with their women. And you think that they're going to let you. That's why if you notice, those black men, when they go over to them other communities, they tuck their shirts in right. They act good. They act right. They do everything they're supposed to do. The black woman, when she's with that non-black man, she got her hair natural. She got her natural body. She's very feminine and nice. But when she with Harold, she loud. She weaved out. When he with Keisha, he's sleeping around, putting his hands on her, not treating her right. But you get with non-black people, all of a sudden you start acting right, acting like you got some sense because you have self-hate and you don't love your people. But you want to go over to somebody else's garden where the Arab man is building for his people. The Pakistani man is building for his people. The black man, forget what the women is talking about. The black man no longer has the pride of saying, you hit me with a crack era, you hit me with a heroin era. We got a president that formed crack laws that locked up a bunch of black men. You kept my father from working. We declaring war on y'all, and as black men, we gonna build our shit back. The black man won't do it. Only certain black men. Yeah, let me get you out of here because you're stupid. You're going. Goodbye. I don't have time for this shit. I don't have the patience for stupid black men. I just don't. I'm sorry. Because we know that we got women that are masculine as hell. We ain't talking about that, man. This man just told me he's married for 30 years. What the fuck he care about those women? I'm talking about rebuilding the mindset of our people. Right now, our people is in dysfunction and disarray. Our boys are killing each other. A lot of our black women are masculine. A lot of our black men are selfish and they're haters, right? And haters. Let's put it in perspective, right? A lot of our girls are out of control. A lot of our black men are killing each other. A lot of our black men are backbiting each other and not sticking together. A lot of our women are haters too, right? But that's all part of the dysfunction within the black community. The task and the person that's tasked to fix that is the man. Because we have to want power. If you don't want power, then the black community is doomed. Because the young boys is watching you. You know why? The young boys still seek power in the hood, but they take it out on each other and they kill each other. Their idea of power and masculinity is off. Their idea of power, the idea of masculinity is the head below the belly button and not the one above the neck. It's the one below the belly button. Their idea of power is how good they can fuck a woman. The idea of power is how much money they can get where they can showboat amongst another black man. This is the black boys and man's idea of power. His idea of power is not owning the real estate in the community he come from and controlling the political acumen within the community. His idea of power is flaunting his resources around another black man so his woman can look at him. This is the idea of power to most black men. Because if it wasn't that way, you will see in 2023 black men like Dave Stewart, Ken Chenault, Bob Johnson, all of these men will be exercising their power to take control over the black community economics. Young black boys will know who Dave Stewart is, but young black boys don't know who Dave Stewart is because the idea of power to a black man is not the same idea of power to these other men around the world. Right. His idea of power is to dominate women and his brother instead of working with his brother to achieve a higher power. And this is where we go wrong. And this is how you end up with conversations like this. This is what I'm trying to tell us. This is how you end up with conversations like this.
Mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are
Bro, I did shows with Judge Joe Brown every Thursday for a whole year, man, on the Real Dana Show. And me and Irritated Genie, I don't know if you know how long I've been on YouTube. I did plenty of shows with him too. But I've done shows with if you go into the Real Dana Show, you'll see me every Thursday for a whole year with Judge Joe Brown, my brother.
Responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
I am
and
not.
when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No,
I mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking them to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with him every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be all in all in our community for half of a century. And now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking
you
nothing
have
back from
yet
that.
to tell me something that we've done systemically to combat that. Because you keep saying me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty
women and men. Women and men as a group in the community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see? So you say.
Well, see, the thing is, to be racist is a collective sport, per Claude Anderson. Since everyone not on board, it forces black men and women to practice individualism. This is survival. But we're not surviving, we're dying. Other groups are practicing survival. Other groups are practicing survival because they're practicing collectivism. That's why when they move into our communities, they automatically outperform us and they start making all the money off of us. This is what happened. We're dying in the communities. Our boys are dying at an alarming rates. Women are having abortions at an alarming rates. We're not producing the children like we should because we're killing them. We don't have an idea of progeny and commitment and sacrifice. So we're not surviving, we're dying. And this is the problem that we're having. So the thing is this, right? I want people to understand, right? Let me say this before I play some more of it. I want people to understand. I think a lot of times because black men are frustrated and like we feel like we're under the gun. We feel like we're under the gun. When you hear brothers talk like this, we get defensive. And I want brothers to stop getting defensive. We need to stop getting defensive because I'm not destroying my brothers. What I'm doing now is an exercise of teaching warfare and understanding warfare. I am not saying that the black woman is not without accountability. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's not accountable to us. What I'm telling you that in aspects of warfare, the way that you guys want to approach it is not the way that they're fighting us. And I'm telling the black man, you gotta stop crying about the women and look at what they're doing to us as men. And you gotta love your brother, and you gotta teach boys to have high standards for themselves. We got it. The only way to fight this on the battlefield is to raise your standards and expectations of each other. And I gotta fight tooth and nail, and I gotta fight with you guys because you don't get it. They got you. It's not about absolving the woman. It's not. Trust me. It's not about absolving the woman. But the more power you get, the less problems you're going to see from a woman. See, let me explain it this way. Let me explain it this way what some of you guys might understand. Most of us as black men, from the time we were children, when we got up and we came outside, we never saw black stores. We never saw black men being subordinate to other black men. We never saw black buildings owned by black men. We never saw industries, or if I had a felony, I can go to a job from black men. We had to go outside of ourselves to get everything that we needed for our growth and development. We didn't even make our own drawers, deodorant, and toothpaste. So that psychologically conditions the black man to not see his brother as his own. It teaches him to be subordinate to everything outside of his brother. And that's why he'll fuck his brother's woman. That's why he'll move up the ladder and don't bring his brother. Because he's never been trained from the time he was a child to see his brother as his brother. It's always been a crabs in the barrel mentality. And I gotta make it despite, or I can't wait to get the F out of here mentality. Y'all need to hear me because I'm explaining to you warfare from the time you was a child. When you watch TV, Santa Claus was white, Jesus was white, all the inventors was white, all your superheroes was white, anything associated with power and greatness was white. Anything associated with black was bad. They psychologically conditioned you to be subordinate to everything lighter than you. That they conditioned you to believe that it was greater than you. You didn't go to a black man for a job. The white man told you how to dress, how to eat, how to do your hair, how to do all these different things. So now when I'm trying to redo this and reconstruct your mind, you're fighting me because you don't understand warfare, black man. Superman is white to you. Santa Claus is white. Jesus is white to you. And even if you no longer believe it, it's psychologically stored in your subconscious mind. That's all I'm saying. It's there. And when you look at the masses of our people, when I'm actually going to these youth prisons and I'm speaking, the hardest thing it takes for me to do is to get them to convince them that they're not niggas. When I'm putting a bus load of kids on a bus and I'm taking them to these museums or to New York City and I'm talking to these children. But see, this is the thing. You're right. But on this, you can't tell me I'm wrong. I'm not right on everything, but I know for a fact I'm not right. I'm not wrong on this. This is too long of studying and teaching and understanding economic warfare and psychological warfare. I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. You know I'm not wrong because I stand on the shoulders of Carl Anderson, Dr. Amos Wilson, Bear Shango, Elijah Muhammad, Stokely Carmichael. I'm not saying nothing that they didn't say. A. Philip Randolph, Dr. Bobby Wright, yes, Dr. Naeem Akbar. So let's not make it seem like it's me. Thousands of real black ministers from back in the day. This ain't me. I'm speaking on the shoulders of them. I'm regurgitating what they said. I know I'm not wrong. You might not like what I'm saying, or you might be thinking as an individual, but as a collective, when you walk outside in your communities, none of these black men can go to these corporate structures and get jobs from black men where they have unapologetic power. White man has it. You got people like Stephen A. Smith on TV, cooning and buffooning, and Shannon Sharp. That absolutely Dr. Khalid Muhammad. So don't tell me I'm wrong. I know I'm not wrong on this topic. It's way too many elders that stood in the gap, that spoke these words that I'm speaking now to the black man. That's all I'm saying, man.
She had a couple kids already because she met men. She probably thought they was good. Some of them. They left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, bro.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're making assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, so you say.
No,
come on, man. Nah, come on.
All women accountable.
So you say.
Listen, like I said, I feel like as a black man,
we don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside they race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
Y'all three.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that, if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
Black women do not. No, you're wrong.
That's percentages of
wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm not saying that. But the percentages ain't that far off. That's
black women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates.
Mm-hmm.
But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing interracially.
Black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay. But what
that has no value?
It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house, but I know it's not enough of us to go around.
Yeah.
We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. And we're complaining about the women.
I argue with women
who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
All right.
That's wimp ass.
I'm gonna tell. Well, see, this is the thing, Devon. In defense of black men, men who have stood for the community have been killed, jailed, working for the collective may scare them subconsciously. I agree. But see, this is the thing, Divine by nature. Even with that being said, we still got to keep fighting. I wish I had that clip. What's the comedian that just passed, the old head comedian that did the health that died? Dick Gregory said that we were the only race of people that asked for education and not liberation. The white man fought to be liberated, and then he created his own education system. We fought to be able to sit down next to white folks and then have the education and not to be liberated completely from them. And we're in this condition that we're in now, and we don't understand. See, everybody keep bringing up the Detroit 300s. Fuck the Detroit 300. That's one little thing. See, this is the thing. D-Ski, you got to stop, bro. Listen, I know you better than that. Like, you ain't, come on, man. Like, that's weak as shit. Fuck that, the Detroit 300. Listen to me. Listen, please listen to me. Listen to me, bro. Listen, let your nuts hang, D. Come on, man. I know you better than that, bro. Ain't no women gonna stop black men from doing what they want to do if they really want to do it and their hearts and minds are setting on change. That's it. If fuck all that shit, nothing's stopping men if men want to make the change. The problem that we have, we keep pulling that Detroit 300 out their ass. Ain't no black women never stop me from doing what I wanted to do. Never. These are excuses that we make as men, bro. Downtown. Watch this. And watch this. Look. He is lying. There's a number of black women with non-black men. Umar Johnson claimed pro-black yet turning insulting black men. This is the thing. It's not about insulting black men. It's about black men. Umar Johnson don't have to insult black men. Black men insult black men every day. By the way, we carry on with each other in front of other black men around the world. Other black men around the world is watching us, and look at the way black men carry on. We rather get a job with networks rather than own networks and compete. We rather let other groups come in and buy up all the property in the communities we live at instead of us being the millionaires. Then we complain when the racist act comes. We watch these immigrant groups come and take our communities. We go and we work for their corporations, and you got one time to fuck up and they fire you. The problem is, if we want to pull the Detroit 300, well, if black women was able to sabotage that, that's the black man's fault because he was powerless to stop it. The men have to want power. The black man, I keep telling you, the black man is the biggest hater of the black man, not the white man today. It's the fucking black man. Y'all should hear. Yeah. Y'all should hear what Stephen A. Smith when he on TV, what he was saying when he was on this Gillian, not Gillian, when he was on that show with what the fuck, Mason Cameron. when he was saying he lets the corporations know that he's the brother. When brothers mess up, they can count on him. This is what he said. When these black men mess up, they can count on him. And he don't like when black men come in and they mess up because they mess it up for everybody else and all this kind of stuff. And I said, well, goddamn, bro, do you have a fucking spine? You would never see the white man doing that. You don't see the white man trying to go to our schools and get, be up under us. He steal our shit and put his name on it. He doesn't respect the black man. The black man don't respect the black man. That's all I'm saying. We get tight because of what Umar is saying. But do it really fucking matter? When is black men going to start providing other opportunities for black men and start cleaning up our so-called Pookie and Ray Ray class, which is our responsibility? The white man loved his people so much that he was willing to kill you and all the Native Americans, push them on lands, recolonize you, reclassify you, and build a whole tier system for his people that they'll fight for, and create militaries and refineries and everything to hire and fire his people, to keep his people in line, and tell his people through white supremacy that you was less than a nigga so that they can treat you that way, and they can become his military to enforce his power. The black man, Jesus Christ, I'm going to say it to you again. The white man loved his people so much that he was willing to go around the world, rob, kill, steal, plunder, Jack Sparrow and the Pirates of the Caribbean, take land, reclassify people, move people around, and make you work for him for pennies on a dollar. And create tier systems for his people. But you come here and you talk about Umar's assaulting black men. Black men are assaulting black men, brother. Y'all don't understand warfare.
As weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we could be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
Not enough.
I know what I'm doing about it. I'm building a school for it, 2 of them. Mm-hmm. But systemically, as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing. Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men doing about that? See, the Pookie and Ray Ray you kept talking about? Mm-hmm. We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize us for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
you're dealing with individualism again. I can't deal with that. That's part of choices. No, it's not. Yeah. We have to deal with this system.
Now you hear what he said? We all have choices. You're not going to hear other groups of men come onto platforms and talk this way. Other groups of men want power, and they want to own the whole block, and they want to own the buildings. They want to control the economic flow. This dude want to fuck white bitches and move as an individual and then blame the women of the community. And other men look at that as weak. Then he want to go over to another groups of men, women. See, this is the part that y'all don't understand. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, though, D-Ski. All skin folk and kinfolk, bro. D, you know I know that. You ain't got to tell me that. You know I know that, and I know that you know that. But D, you're leaving comments as if you don't understand what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about in the context of this conversation, beloved. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. That's not the topic. We know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. That has absolutely nothing to do with black men still having the responsibility of having power and controlling this community. That's all I'm saying, brother. And you know I'm right. Come on, man, get out your emotions and just like get on board with where I'm at. What you're saying is true. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, but that ain't what we talking about. That's all I'm saying. That ain't what we talking about. Hold on. What we have to understand is too many of our young boys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong in that because you're right, but that's not what we're saying right now. Well, just think, D-Skid, we was at the table and we was trying to co-op some buildings, D-Skid. And we was trying to get some property and take over like a shopping center in about a 3-block radius. We wouldn't be sitting around saying all skin folk ain't kinfolk. We'd be sitting around getting motherfuckers on board, and whoever ain't on board, they in the way. and we're going to move them out the way, whether physically or politically. We're going to move them because we're going to go get that power. If we were selling keys, a coat in the community, if we got better prices and we go to dudes and say, yo, we got these better prices, get down later. If they don't get down, they're going to get ran over. We don't ask for power, we take it. That's how every other group operates of men. They take it. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. In the context of the conversation, D-Ski, you right. But in the overall scope, at the end of the day, brother, you from the block, man, you know what I'm talking about. It's still our responsibility to fix the problem. No matter how much we bitch and moan about it, it's still our responsibility. Because in Chicago, I think that's where you at in Philly, it's our sons and nephews and everybody that's blowing each other away. That's our job to fix it, man. War's been declared on the black man. We got to fix it, man. That's all I'm saying. The surface level, which is explaining, I would never tell you you're wrong. But you know you know why I'm saying what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Systemically, he brought up a question earlier, and he said, "Did we make these problems on our own, or was there some systemics involved?" It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't say shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you. And she's going to scapegoat you.
And
we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't say shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you.
Did you just hear what he just said? He said, ignore what I have done to your women and make her the scapegoat. What Umar is saying is, there's a group of competing men that's destroying and turning our women against us and destroying our communities. We're high-siding and sidestepping them and going straight to our women. It don't work that way. You got to high-step your women and go to them and get power and take back control of the community. That's what you got to do. We doing it the other way around because psychologically the black man is afraid of the white man. He's afraid of his punishment. He's afraid of him. This is what Umar's telling him. But y'all get mad at me. I'm trying to teach you guys what warfare is.
Involved. It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't say shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you. And she's going to scapegoat you. And we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Listen, I
don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah. But when we're going to hold the system accountable as well.
That's fair.
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too.
Whoa. That's the most important thing that he said. Now watch this, D-Ski. I'm glad that you put that in there because he just answered it for you. D, you said, George, it's enough good black men to help with this, you right. But how do you propose exerting energy to this when the good guys in the hood working 50, 60 hours a week to take care of the house? You're 100% right. What has to happen, D-Ski, is we have to start acknowledging each other as black men and understanding what Umar just said. I'm going to play it back one more time what Umar said, because this is an important comment that you just left, right?
Women and scapegoat her, because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you, and she's going to scapegoat you. And we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Listen,
I don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we're going to hold the system accountable as well.
That's fair.
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too.
Now, Deesky, he said, if we're going to hold the women accountable, and this is what they're not willing to do, we got to hold the system accountable and know that we have to create our own systems as men. That's what I've been saying all night. And that's what we got to do, Deesky, because we how long are we going to continue to work on their grid and their system and not create our own? I watch Latinos come here and don't even speak English, make $1 million, make millions of dollars in the black community and go right back to their country. The black man live right here and do none of that shit. But we complain about racism on the job. We complain about our women being unruly. We complain about our children being slaughtered in the streets. But the black man ain't willing to do nothing to change it. And if you ever hear the Indian man and the Arab man talk about us, he calls us savages and dogs and selfish. Because in his country, he says, I heard an Indian man says in his country, the black man would be murdered for what he allows to go on in his community. I'm going to say that again. I heard an Indian man say in his country, the black American man will be murdered for the treason and what he allows to go on in his community. He was saying that we allow foreigners to come into our communities and just take it over and make all kinds of money, and we don't do anything to combat it. And it's stinging a little bit, but it's the truth, y'all. It's the truth. And the only way we can fix it, we got to recognize it. I could talk all day about black women, but I got to tell the truth. The thing that people don't realize is that those of us who don't have children in a better position to fight the system yet, they want some of us. We have to take care. Yeah. Let me play a little bit more before we
Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys.
How would you suggest that black men take on the role of leadership,
especially when there's an attack on black masculinity,
without women willing to listen to us? You get what I'm saying? How do
wait, real quick? Did you just hear what he said, Deesky? He said, how do you expect black men to take on a role of leadership? But then the other guy came and he admitted that there's a role on black masculinity. Now listen, y'all, just listen. All that shit that brother said about the black woman and about all the things we should be doing, then he turned around and said that there's an attack on black masculinity. Then we have to ask the question, who's attacking the black masculinity, young black man? If you can articulate with your mouth that there is an attack on black masculinity, that means that it's your responsibility to do something about it. You're right, JC.
We prove our worth or take back the leadership
care of the boys.
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will. Is she going to scapegoat you?
And
we're both scapegoat.
We prove our worth or take back the leadership
care of the boys.
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys. And you'll get her respect back. Give them jobs, give them education, give them training, give them your time. They not getting none of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. And then we're going to get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous.
Like I said,
we product and get mad for her for ending up consuming the product.
She could consume whatever she wants. I'm just saying, as a black man,
it's not about her consuming whatever she wants, brother. Because if we're trying to fix the black community, everybody and everything matters. It's not individual. You're an individualist. You're not thinking as a community. Your whole analysis is based on me and her. Step out of that shit. This is the systems at play. You understand?
Right.
Multiple black men screwed up. Multiple black women screwed up. You understand me? Look at the systemic nature and say, what system do we need to create as black men to prevent the Pookie and Ray Ray from coming into existence?
Or I, as a black man, can just look for a woman that is healed, that is leading.
See, now, did you hear what Umar said? And listen to his response.
Leading in her femininity, that doesn't have a child by another woman.
But that doesn't solve community problems. We're talking about community solutions. That's individualism.
That's fair. Let me get to this last topic before we get up out of here. I do want to talk about your school because this is a great transition. You know,
I want to stop it right there. I'm almost I'm an hour and a half in, and this is the stuff that we talk about, man. I haven't had the energy to go live in some time. You know, I just hold on for a second. Let me do this real quick. For some that may have not seen it, while I got people in here. I hadn't had the energy to go live. I just been chilling, man. You know, just oh shit. Hold on, let me stop sharing first. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up real fast before we damn. Hold on, y'all. Everybody stay put for me. I want y'all to check this out. I want to check this out real quick. All right, so let's share the screen again. All right, here we go. So
students who are like these little super genius engineer black.
This is here. This is us in New York City last week at Q Butter School. Truth. At the Science Fair, the Urban Nerds. I mean, not excuse me, Zayas Institute Science Fair. You know, we always link up. We always link up with brother Q Butter, and you know, Philly to Brooklyn connection. And we trying to get brothers to link up, man, and do things. So this is. I want y'all to check this out. This is me getting off the bus with some of my kids, taking them to the science fair. So we took them 2 hours up the road from Philly up to New York City, man. A lot of these, like I said, a lot of these kids have brothers that's been murdered. They're kids from the community, man, and we're trying to get them while they're young, man, and redevelop their minds, get them on the trajectory to being successful, getting them in the sciences and all those different things. So when y'all see like the Urban Nerds Cash App going down there or the website, man, donate, man. We need donations, man. We put in for grants and they denied a couple grants, you know, but we still get we still do our trips and do the things that we do. But every donation count. I don't know if I got any of my hold on. Well, just check this out. Come on, y'all. Everybody pile out. All right.
Okay, so you definitely want to. I know what your passion is. I see what you're saying. You want those that come in, push the sleeve.
This is
introduction to robotics and coding. So once you download the app, you can log through YouTube, and then on the app you can either move it around directly, or you can make a code and program the ball to do certain things like change colors, rotate, move 15 degrees this way, 15 degrees that way, or you could draw on it. You can draw a star, a circle, whatever you draw on the screen. That's what the ball would do.
Turn around, y'all. Let me see what y'all with the ball. Turn around, Mark.
So no one poops, it's like waves that poop in turn into bacteria. Waves into nitrogen. And then
So we got to get them when they babies like this, and we got to redirect them because the enemy is out to get the minds of our babies, and we got to get our children, and we got to raise them up the way we want them to be. We got to invest in our children. So I'm saying as black men, people like me and Q Butter, we on the front line. We trying our best to do it, but we got to change the mindsets of brothers, man, and understand this thing is systematic. Systematic. We got to make sure our boys ain't killing each other and our girls ain't twerking on top of cars and all that type of shit. It's our job, man.
like when it goes through it goes back where the pump is. It comes back in, and then it's like the cycle keeps going. Yeah.
Very good.
That's my.
So what made you choose this project?
is because I was inspired by my father to make this project. He made a project of a big mansion about 2 levels high, and I made the own, but I spray painted it. Made one better than his by putting LED.
That's right. You gotta show your pops up. That's right. Show your pops up.
He made one better than his.
Yeah, he made one better than yours.
Yeah, I'm putting one right now. I'll name one right now.
How I would think this will help the black community is by teaching them how to make them one like their own. But like, say if they're wanting to make their own house, they'll know the structure, the measurements, and what tools they need to use.
Beautiful.
You touching his head? Come here, Zed. Look. Come here, Zed. Look.
Biology right now.
Bio. Bio, this is a medical.
Yeah, because I want to go to school to be an anesthesiast nurse, and then I feel like I want to pursue in my medical career.
I feel like I'm
going to go back to college and get my DO or MD degree to become an anesthesiologist.
Hey, go. Tell me what you want to be. What you say? You want to be a what?
I want to be a marine biologist.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Mikhail.
Mikhail, you want to be a what?
I want to be a marine biologist.
Ooh, boy.
Now, these are young, innocent children, man, and you gotta get them because the streets will get them. I was an innocent child at one time, and before I ever had a gun in my hand or was running the streets or saw what a kilo of cocaine was, I started off like this, and then the streets got me, man. So we got to get our babies. That's the website right there. If you guys want to donate through PayPal or Venmo, you can donate there, or you can hit the Cash App and you can donate to our foundation. But this is that's the website.
I want to be able to help the animals eat, like the animals that we eat, like the fishes that we eat every day, and just like help make the world a better place.
Sister, you? What grade you in? You're going in.
We use transportation and our vehicles to get to different places, and the importance of bridges is to get to those places. The importance of this in the Black community is that we're only representing 9% of it. So choosing to do such and show others, it could hopefully increase that amount.
Congratulations, our infrastructure is crumbling and we need better innovation for better bridges of the future. So thank you.
Thank you, young man.
It's okay.
This man here is a doctor.
Once you think about it. You have time, you're young. What about you? You have time, you're young, but I want you to pursue your ball full speed. But just in case, you ever see people get injured on the basketball court, or on the football court, you gotta do something else. I want you to record. You know Magic Johnson? On the side. When he retired, he got into business. He owns a lot of different businesses. Some athletes have also done this in medicine.
Moment when grass meets blade is still the most important part of the operation, and we've got that well covered.
I need y'all to understand the kids built this from scratch. They built this whole arm, this robotic arm, man, from scratch. The kids at the school. So this is the stuff that Brother Q Butter, man, and people is doing, man, on the ground. Oh, shoot, hold on, I hit the wrong button.
Abnormal blood vessels can grow that lead to reddening of the retina that gives you a cloudy, dark vision. That could be prevented with dyes, with tan, and laser treatment.
That's my partner, Marvin Burrow.
And then
he's going back and forth.
He's going back and forth with
when
you get about 4 years of age.
Look at the babies. Now look, we got the babies, man, and you raise them up into sciences. We gotta invest. I'm saying I'm gonna stop it here. I'm gonna stop it here because you guys can go to the Urban Nerds channel and you can check out the video. But I just want us to understand that we have to invest in our babies. We can't expect nobody else. That's gonna come from us. And me as a black man, my job is to get on the black man. And I know a lot of brothers don't like to hear it. People like Shahrazad Ali and other sisters across YouTube, they get on the sisters, man. I got to call to check the black man. So, like I said, man, you know, I'm an hour and 44 minutes in. I'm past the long I wanted to go. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and I think I got a couple things that I want to talk about tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to go live every day for the rest of the week. I haven't been live in months, so I'm kind of re-energized, but I got a little burnt out. But I think I'm gonna come back and really start talking more to our people, man, and spread the message, man. But we gotta if you guys can support Urban Nerds, support what we're doing, man. Support the movement. The summer's coming. We got some big things coming up this summer. But I'm gonna cut this stream short here, man. Those that donated, man, thank you so much for donating. Thanks, Norma X, for your donation. Peace to JC. JC, I love you, brother. I mean, I know that you alternative lifestyle, but I still love you. You my brother. You my brother. You don't speak out against the black community at the expense of LGBT. We have things that we disagree on. You know, I disagree with homosexuality, but I love you as my brother. And you always welcome here. You always welcome here. I don't discriminate against our people because they're gay or not gay. As long as they for black people and they for our children being better, I love our people. So shout out to JC, shout out to Norma X, shout out to Shantae, shout out to Nicole, and all of our people, man. We gotta start building the mindset of our people. We have a lot of dysfunction within our community. We have a lot of issues. So we can't be ostracizing each other. We gotta help each other and love each other. And let all these other people with agendas against our communities, we got to push them out. And we got to start healing ourselves, man, and rebuilding our children. So remember, I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator Most High that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information. And when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information on all the social media mechanisms that we use to get the message across. It's time that we have a conversation and we start loving each other. If they want a gender war, if they want to kill each other, let them do it over there. We got to come in the middle. And we got to be separate from all of that. We got to come out from amongst them and be clean. We have to be the clean glass next to the dirty glass. We have to be the example of which they should follow, because the battle out here is for the minds of the people. And right now, the enemy is winning because too many of us are lukewarm before the eyes of the Lord. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.